Hello, my name is Dr. Jennifer Smith. In the previous video, we discussed the impact of an authoritative parent with the 4 different child's personality groups. Now, we will discuss the impact of an authoritarian parent with the 4 different child's personality groups: careful, mature, cute, and clever. Remember that the authoritarian parent is characterized by high demands and low responsiveness. Parents with an authoritarian style have very high expectations of their children, yet provide very little in the way of feedback and nurturance. Mistakes tend to be punished harshly. Most authoritarian parents are more concerned about their feelings than the emotions and feelings of their own children. If you are an authoritarian parent and you belittle your child over such a small temper tantrum, you are teaching your child not to trust your behavior and actions as a parent, because your behavior will always end up with overly harsh punishments from you as a parent. Your child will fear you and will be afraid to express their emotions around you as a parent. Let's discuss the authoritarian parent analysis with the 4 child's personality groups. The careful group. If your child is in the careful category, they will be afraid of your feedback because, as an authoritarian parent, you might have a tendency to be harmful to them physically and emotionally. Your child will be fearful of you when they get into trouble because they know the consequence of you as the parent being angry and possibly yelling or spanking them. Their fears of you as the parent will be sincere. So as the authoritarian parent, you must find a way to discipline your child without your child being afraid of you. If you do not find an appropriate way to control your authoritarian behavior as a parent, your careful child will lose their respect for your actions as a parent. Although your careful child respects authority, they will not want to be shamed or embarrassed by you as a parent in any situation in which they may not behave. For example, if your child breaks an expensive plate or dish, they will immediately stress over the incident due to your authoritarian behavior as a parent. This parenting style on a careful child will be extremely damaging for their health and overall emotional well-being. In order to help your child build a stress-free relationship with you as a parent, it will take more work on your part as the parent to change your behavior to appropriately meet the needs of your child. Children will be children, and you don't want your child to grow up in a home in which they are fearful in their safe haven, which should be their home. As a parent, you will cripple the emotional and mental growth of your child in all child categories if you don't change your behavior as an authoritarian parent. It's not fair to your child to live in fear, with this fear being from the person that should be protecting them. Remember to work on your parenting style first for the benefit of your child. The mature group. If your child is in the mature group category, they will be extremely disrespectful and defiant towards you as a parent, even if your behavior is authoritarian. For most children, having a parent that is authoritarian is a frightful experience, but the mature child will be inappropriately learning from your negative behavior and will model the same negative behavior that you are displaying as a parent. If you do not correct your inappropriate behavior, yelling at your child, embarrassing your child, hitting your child, you will be teaching your mature child these inappropriate behaviors. Basically, the mature child is learning how to be a bully from the authoritarian parent. Because I know that you don't want to teach your child to be a bully, it's best that you change your parenting style for the betterment of your child's future. Therefore, it's best to find a better and a calm way to resolve any differences or conflicts with your child. For example, practice the skills of listening to your child and gently talking to them to explain why their bad behavior may need to change if they do something wrong. If you, as the parent, act as an authoritarian parent and spank and scold your child harshly, you are teaching your child that it's okay to physically and emotionally harm other people. The cute group. If your child is in the cute category, they will be extremely frightened of your authoritarian behavior to the point that they will shut down emotionally and even get sick if they're yelled at by you as the parent. Your child will live in fear of you as a parent, and something as small as your child making a simple mistake can cause your child to become emotionally and physically ill. Not because they could not correct their behavior or mistake, but because of their fear of your criticism of them and their fear of you as their parent. Although your child's behavior may not always be perfect, your child will want to receive positive reinforcement from you as the parent that you still love them, in spite of the fact that they sometimes make mistakes and sometimes have bad behavior days. For example, if your child has a wedding accident in bed, it's not your job as an authoritarian parent to humiliate your child. The best behavior in dealing with a child in the cute category is to show empathy and compassion through the experience by telling your child, "It's okay. We all have accidents sometimes. Let me help you clean up." By displaying this appropriate behavior, your child will definitely know that you still love them, in spite of the fact that they've had an accident and wet their bed. The clever group. If your child is in the clever category, they will need for you to be assertive when being disciplined. However, please know that while being assertive throughout the discipline process, as a parent, you also need to be caring and loving. The clever child will try your patience because they will have a variety of ways in which they will test their limits as a child. Your child will want to see how much they can get away with before being disciplined by you as the parent. In spite of knowing your guidelines for discipline, they will still constantly test your limits each day. For example, if you tell your clever child that they can't have ice cream before dinner, they may test your limits and try to sneak to the refrigerator and steal an ice cream pop in spite of the fact that you told them, "No, you can't have the ice cream." Your response should be to gently reinforce the rules and take the ice cream away from your child without yelling at them and without spanking them. Because the clever child stays in trouble a lot, they may not care about the fact of being yelled at or spanked by you as the parent. In spite of the fact that they don't care about being yelled at or spanked, please don't spank them and don't yell at them over a simple ice cream. In the long run, you will raise a better child if you talk your way through conflicts and disagreements with them. Your clever child will not easily be embarrassed, so remain calm at all times when scolding them.